Hey, good morning. It's Mark Schultz here with DigitalAircraft. And yes, we're back again with another interesting interview this morning here at MRO Americas 2022. And like I told you, I'm walking the floor and I'm finding companies that I believe are really interesting that I want to share with you. And I hope you'll learn something on how you can be successful in the industry by connecting with the people that I'm bringing to you. Here we're standing at the booth of Conduce. It's Conduce, right?
Conduce Group Limited.
Conduce Group Limited. And I would just like to introduce to you Paul Boyd. And Paul, can you tell people who you are and what do you do for Conduce?
Yeah, so I'm Paul Boyd. I'm the Managing Director for Conduce Group. I primarily work in the Europe and the Middle East regions, but we're expanding across into North America now. We have a customer in North America already. We provide electronic logbook solutions. We're very heavily focused on replacing the paper aircraft technical logbooks, complete with cabin log, defect logbooks, etc., etc.
Okay, well, we're going to dig into that in more detail. Yep. So let me just ask you this: is that what are the challenges or problems you're seeing in the industry? And you just mentioned, aircraft, cabin, whatever. What are the challenges that people are seeing in the industry today?
The challenges that we're facing at the moment is a lot of paper systems, and paper systems are notoriously difficult to track, to manage. Getting the data back into the airline's main systems is really difficult. Data's missing, data's inaccurate. So we're seeing a lot of movement towards digital transformation so that we can collect that data, we can get that data more effectively into the airline systems, and then use that data immediately rather than 4 hours later or a day later, etc., etc.
Paper is hard to use, right?
Yep.
So just for the users, let me kind of focus in for a minute. What type of a logbook are we talking about? Pilot log, maintenance log, cabin log? What are we talking about?
Yeah, well, we look upon it as a combined journey log, technical log.
Okay.
Because when you start to integrate with the MRO systems, you need that datum point. The journey log data gives you the datum point for that maintenance defect data, and bringing those two together is really, really important so that you've got that sort of point to hang that defect from. Particularly if you're deferring a defect in accordance with an MEL and you've got to track it for the 3 days or the 10 days, you do need that combined data at the right time. And when systems become more integrated, the sequencing of that data becomes much, much more critical. When you're entering data from a paper solution, you can kind of enter data in different sequences, but when it's electronic and automated, you have to make sure the sequences are 100% correct and workflow reliable, basically.
Okay, so we're talking about a journey log, a tech log, and so is it used in the cabin then as well?
It's used in the cockpit and the cabin, and it's used on the line.
Okay, and on the line. Okay, perfect. All right. Now, let me ask you this: what are the challenges that people have with using paper out there today? Why should they just not continue to use paper today?
Paper is inaccurate. Paper gets lost. It's illegible in terms of people writing. I know my writing is awful. And I've seen engineers and pilots. The addition of hours and data and stuff as well leads to errors, leads to incorrect data.
So we can capture the data more accurately in a more timely manner. And I think I heard you say earlier that it could be reused, in other systems and things like that.
Yeah, once we collect that data electronically, then we can send that data to multiple endpoints within the airline's business. So fuel data is a good example. That can go to different. It can go to fuel efficiency. It can go to finance for fuel reconciliations. So the same data, once collected, can be used many times.
Yeah. Now, I imagine since you're using an environment which it's more constrained, I guess, that the data can be captured more accurately. You probably use masking and things like that in order to be able to capture it more accurately. Is that?
Absolutely. So the user, whether it's the crew, the engineer, the cabin crew, or the pilot, they are guided through the solution and they're kind of led to select the right data. Now, and also with systems such as this, we can ensure that we do collect 100% of the regulatory required data and the business process required data for that particular airline.
For dispatch, or the business process data as well.
That's additional data, because all the airlines need to differentiate themselves from each other, and they may have a certain data set that they want to collect and collect it accurately and use in some sort of competitive advantage. Right? Yeah,
safety and compliance, no question.
100%.
And and it doesn't happen that often, but there have been incidences that have occurred from refueling errors and things like that. And so that's a very important part, is to be able to have compliance and to be able to have accurate information being captured and calculated, and
absolutely,
it's very important. So let me ask you this: is it offline, online? What's the situation?
The solution that we provide is 100% available offline, so it's a native application to the tablet device you're using, whether it's a Windows or iOS device, and that's critical because although we've got connectivity around the world nowadays, there will be times and instances
Yeah.
when there will be no connectivity, either through the SIM card, the 3G, 4G, or through a Wi-Fi hotspot.
Okay, and then how do you update with the system then? What does that mean? How does that work?
Well, everything's updated through the system, through the internet. So we have live access to the devices. So
when it has connectivity then?
When it has connectivity,
okay,
yeah.
Perfect. All right,
so when we've got no connectivity, we need backup solutions. Yeah. And the ultimate backup is obviously to revert back to a paper just to dispatch the aircraft.
Yeah, you know, I've been working in the industry for a long time, and I know there's a lot of providers out there that have, you know, broad sets of solutions, and many of them have electronic logbooks, you know, that are part of their solutions. Why should somebody consider this solution as opposed to others?
Well, Conduce is all about the electronic logbook. That's our flagship product. We have companion products that go with that in terms of the cabin logbook, the deferred defect logbook, etc. But we are logbook providers. We don't have a large MRO system with a logbook tagged on. We are very specialist. We also provide our airline customers with a complete solution. So it's all of the hardware, it's all the data connectivity. We package it and we license it to you as the airline user based upon the fleet size, fleet complexity. And that gives that airline that one-stop shop. And we provide 24/7, 365 support from any crew member or any line maintenance engineer down route. They call us and we resolve it.
That's
they
impressive.
don't call IT. They don't call IT and get
impressive.
a support ticket and say, we'll get back to you in 4 hours.
Great, very good.
It's direct. So.
Well, that's good. Well, listen, if you're looking for a logbook and if you're here at the MRO show, how can they get in touch with you? What booth are we at?
Well, they can get in touch with me. We're on booth 1102.
1102. If you're here at the show, booth 1102. All right.
And
then how else can they get in touch with you?
And they contact me via LinkedIn, Paul Boyd, or paul.boyd@conduce.net.
Say that again one more time, the email address.
So that's paul.boyd@conduce.net.
Perfect. Very, very good. Listen, thank you so much. I really appreciate you sharing the information about your logbook, and I wish you the best. And if you're out there watching, please stop by and see them. If you're looking for a logbook, you know, you definitely have to check this out. I've seen this product in the past, and it's a really good product. So, you know, if you have a chance, stop by and check it out. Thanks so much, Paul. I really appreciate the conversation.
Good to see you again.
Thanks everybody for watching. We have a few more interviews today, so stand by. And I'm hoping to bring you some additional good information to be able to help you be successful in your business. Thanks and have a great day. Bye.
Cheers.